You're watching WLOX News This Week. Here's David Elliott.
And thanks for staying with us. Welcome back. We're talking this morning with the candidates running for Harrison County Sheriff, Lewis, Elias, Matt Haley, right here, right now. Mr. Haley, we're talking about a huge budget. About 1/3 of the county's budget goes to the Sheriff's Department, and the taxpayers want to make sure that all of the resources are managed wisely. What have you seen in terms of getting the most bang for the buck over at the Sheriff's Office?
I think currently our sheriff has done a fantastic job with the budget. You know, it was always comical when we were in staff meetings, when he would get something that would come in front of him that he had to sign off on. You know, he went through most of it with a fine-tooth comb, and it was almost like he was pulling the money out of his own pocket. And I feel like it's necessary to continue doing that. You know, you have to treat it like it's your own money at the end of the day.
Mr. Elias, taxpayers who want fiscal responsibility, what do you know about the budget, the way it's been managed, and what could maybe be streamlined moving forward?
Definitely room for prioritization. A lot of room for prioritization, and it is 31 million if we determine that it's 31.
Well, I don't want to waste time on that. There's some debate, 31, 27.
27
and I started all this,
look
and I apologize.
Hey, look at the board minutes yesterday.
That's irrelevant. 27, 31.
27 to 31 million dollars is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it at that.
We'll
It's a lot of
agree with
money.
that. We'll just agree with that.
I think that we have to look at how we prioritize our spending, what's necessary, what's not, what we can redirect to more important things, higher priority items, and we're going to come out with a much better end product.
Let's go out to the jail. Mr. Elias, the biggest expense within that budget, whatever the number is, the jail. It's been under federal decree in the past. What kind of health report would you give on the Harrison County Jail right now? What needs to be done?
Aesthetically, the jail looks great. We've put a lot of money into it and fixed a lot of things, but unfortunately, our human resource situation has deteriorated to a crisis level. We fluctuate between 65 and 80 employees down. Historically, I don't know that we've ever been that bad off. It goes back to the way that we handle recruiting, retention, and doing business, the way we treat our employees. I think that we've just got to regroup on it.
It's the jail, Mr. Haley. What do you see when you look out at that Harrison County Jail out on the industrial seaway?
We've spent, I want to say, around $300,000 to get the jail up to where it is right now. And physically, the jail is in good shape. But we do have an issue with manpower. You know, I want to say the last time I checked, we were 65 officers down. But it's not just us. I mean, this is a nationwide problem. Do I think we could do a little bit better? Absolutely. I think our recruiting needs to change. I think we need to put a little bit more resources and time into recruiting. I think there's some avenues that we haven't explored yet as far as the recruitment, but we've got to change the pay with these officers.
Very quickly, pay, that's a big thing. Most people are probably shocked when they hear 65 corrections officers down. Keeping good officers, and we don't have a lot of time, recruiting bright young officers for the future. You first, Mr. Elias.
If we have to go to professional marketing to do it, we have to do it. It's been done before. I think that there are individuals out there that would give us a career, that have a passion to serve as corrections officers. We just have to give them a good place to work.
Okay, money, is money the story, Matt Haley? What do we do to keep good officers? What do you do to bring in?
You know, at the end of the day, these people need to have to be able to pay their bills. You know, these officers can go get the same job at Walmart, making the same pay, minus all of the fights and everything that they have to put up with. So the pay has got to come up. You know, the sheriff has done a great job getting them to where they're at now, but I just don't think it's enough.
Okay, let's jump to training, Mr. Haley. Everything from a de-escalation when responding to a call to use of force, because officer-involved shootings, so much in the news lately. Where do you see training these officers to make sure that they are indeed serving the public, protecting the public?
So of course, you know, we have a new training facility out off of County Farm Road. And we do well with training, but I do feel like we can do more training, better training. I think there's some more training that we can offer to allow our local entities to be able to train at our facility and not have to go off In other words, bring the trainers in, which we do that now, but I think we could do it on a much larger scale.
Mr. Elias, again, use of force is a big story in our society today, as is de-escalation. Where do you see that with training?
I will have to at least give kudos to those that are doing this training now. Part of the team that I led in training established our use of force training that we're doing now. The instructor that put it together and the group that still teaches it is the FBI, because that's who's going to come in and investigate these cases. From 69 hours the year before, which is 2015, to 1,769 in-service training hours documented. We're doing our part in training. Everything leads back to human resources, and we have to identify the specific problems there. The highest the jail pay has ever been is now, same with our patrol. It's when you talk to the individuals that have left in the masses, it comes back to management and the way that they're treated.
You know, I want to talk to you all about what is the crime out in the unincorporated part. In Harrison County, we hear about a lot of violent crime down in the cities. Drugs, burglaries, what is really the biggest concern out in the county?
Drugs is the main things that we deal with, and you know, anybody that's in law enforcement will tell you that the majority of all crimes are some sort of drug nexus. So if somebody breaks into a house, they're breaking into a house because they're looking for something to sell that they can buy drugs with. So, you know, drugs it's always a big issue.
Mr. Elias, what is the nature of crime in the county? Again, we hear about everything happening in the cities, but out in the county, is it drugs, home burglaries? What are the problems?
Burglaries, misdemeanor crimes, and again, you've heard me say this, we have to allow misdemeanors in our jail. We've taken consequence out of the equation in a system that was put together to have consequence. Without it, it's failing. There's individuals that are up in the counties now that I've seen in rural areas that are living in the woods, coming out at night, stealing things, and you know, if you go into a business out in the county and do a misdemeanor amount of damage, you don't go to jail.
Okay, I'm going to say
Scary.
15 seconds for each of you, and I hate to time flies, folks. School safety, resource officers working with the Harrison County School District. You first, Mr. Haley.
So my plan is to put school resource dogs back into the schools. You know, I don't think it's going to prevent drugs, but it's definitely going to be a deterrent. There's a handle with care program that I would like to look into, and that's basically, you know, if one of our officers has contact with a young person, whether it be a domestic or a car wreck or whatever, they simply call that school, give that child's name, and say handle with care. They don't tell their business or anything.
Mr. Elias, working with the Harrison County School District.
School security, threat assessments, threat mitigation has been my passion, and this is what I'll say to that. We have to base our actions, how we address that, off of data, statistics, research. There's absolutely nothing that supports dogs being the answer to school security or threat mitigation. I really don't understand that part of it. It scares me a bit. It scares me to hear someone say that our schools are safe, because we're following the same model the entire country has followed for so long, where we've seen failure after failure and children dying. It's that simple. So our approach is polar opposite. We're going to take a proactive approach. We're using resources that are already existing, and we hope to stop the threat before it gets to the
All righty. I wish we had more time.
Absolutely.
People will go to the polls on Tuesday and vote. Again, the winner Tuesday night will be the next sheriff in Harrison County. 2 Republicans in the primary, no Democrat waiting in the wings. Thanks to both of you for being here. Okay?
Thanks, Dave, for having
We
us.
appreciate it, okay? And good luck to both of you on Tuesday.